Hello everyone, here is a video of me working through our math problems from yesterday in case you had any questions. So the first one, you have 2 cups of flour, or you need 2 cups of flour for your recipe. How much is that in terms of tablespoons, and how much is that in terms of gallons? So we start with 2 cups. If we want to go to tablespoons, we know that we are going to something smaller. So remember, when we're going to something smaller, we multiply. We can only go one step at a time based on our list, but we know that, so we're starting with cups, and we know there are 16 fluid ounces in a cup from our chart. So that means our 2 cups is equal to 32, 16 times 2, 32 fluid, we just do FL dot OZ, fluid ounces. Now we're in fluid ounces, so we got 32 fluid ounces, and we're still going smaller because tablespoons is smaller than fluid ounces, and we go times. So 32 fluid ounces times, there are 2 tablespoons, that's how we write tablespoon. There are 2 tablespoons in every fluid ounce. So times 2 equals 64 tablespoons. So our total answer for tablespoons is 64. If we're trying to go to gallons now, we do it a little bit differently. We still start, so I'll put a little box around this. We still start with 2 cups, but now, since we're going to gallons, and gallons are bigger, we know we're gonna have less gallons, so we have to divide. So 2 cups divided by, so if we are going to pints next, so our next thing is pints, if we have 1 pint, we have 2 cups per pint. So now we're in pints, and we need to divide it again. So we have 2 cups per pint. We have 2 pints per quart. QT is quart. And we have divide again, because we're going into something bigger, 4 quarts per gallon. So we've gone all the way from cups to gallons using our chart. So our chart says if we're starting with cups, our next thing is pints. There are 2 cups per pint, so we'll divide it by 2. There are then 2 pints per quart, so we'll divide it again by 2, going from pints to quarts. And then going from quarts to gallons, we have to divide it by 4. So let's see this math. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And then 1 divided by 2, we can think about it if we want to rather write it as 1 divided by 2. That equals 1/2. Equals 1/2. So now we have 1/2, and we have to divide it by 4, because we're over here. We did 2 divided by 2, which was 1. We did 1 divided by 2, and now we have to do 1/2 divided by 4. Now, if we think about our rules for dividing fractions, the first thing we had to do is put it over 1, make every number a fraction. Now, for division, we flip these 2. So we have, if we come over here, we still have our 1/2, and now we have 1/4, and we switch that division sign to a multiplication sign, and multiplying fractions, we get 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 cups is equal to 1/8 gallon. So our answers for that first problem are we have 64 tablespoons, or 1/8 of a gallon are both equal to 2 cups. Problem 2, we have a baseball, and our baseball is equal to 12 ounces. How much does 9 baseballs weigh in ounces? So we just need to multiply that by our 9 baseballs, which will give us, if we go 12 times 9, 9 times 2 is 18, so we bring the 1, we got the 1 up here, 9 times 1 is 1, plus 10, or plus 1 is 10, 9 times 12 gives us 108 ounces. So our 9 baseballs weigh 108 ounces, so we have 108 ounces. Now we need to turn that ounces into pounds. It says how much those baseballs weigh in pounds. If we go back to our chart and we think about it, we have ounces and we're going to pounds. Pounds are bigger than ounces, so we know we're going to have less pounds than ounces. So we need to divide. So let's see, there are 16 ounces per pound. So 108 ounces divided by 16. Let's see, I could do that way, but I'm thinking that's going to be tricky. So let's just do 16 plus another 16 is 32, plus another one is 48. Double that would put us at 96. So that would give us equals 6 pounds. Remainder of 12 ounces. I believe that is correct, because 6 times 16 is 96. So that gives us our 96 of our ounces, and we still have 12 remaining to go from that 96 to that 108. So we'd have 6 pounds with 12 ounces remaining. You could do that with long division if you would like to check my work, but I believe the answer is 6 pounds and 12 ounces. Question 3, we have 20 steps. We take 20 steps and each step is 3/4 of a yard. How many yards is that and how many feet is that? So the first thing, we have 20 steps and each of those steps is 3/4 of a yard. So we could add 3/4 plus 3/4 20 times, or we could multiply 20 times 3/4. Now if we're thinking about this in terms of multiplying fractions, we know we have to put this over a 1, and then we just multiply straight across, which would get us 60 over 4, which we could simplify by saying both of them, a 2 can go into, so we divide both of them by 2, which would give us 30 over 2. We can do that same thing again to continue simplifying, which would give us 15 over 1, which is equal to 15. So 20 times 3/4, 20 steps, each of them is 3/4 of a yard, gives us 15 yards. Now we need to know how many feet is that. So we're starting with 15 yards. We know we're going into feet. Feet are smaller than yards, so we need to be we need to be multiplying, because there will be more feet than there are yards. And we know that we have 3 feet in a yard. So we have 15 yards times 3 feet in every yard. 15 times 3 gives us 45 feet. So our final answer there for question 3 is 45 feet. There you go.